Welcome back to Equine Photo School. I'm Oli Moss. This is a booth series, on where we're setting up a booth here, and we're going to talk about all the little nitty-gritty things. But first, let's talk about our goals. What are our goals when it comes to setting up a booth? Because we don't want to just do it just to do it, because it's kind of expensive, and if you do it, just to do it, just to say you have a booth, and there's no like why behind it, you're going to get burnt out and you're not going to see the results that you want, right? You might not even know what results that you want. So let's start with what results do we want from a booth, okay? So the idea here is that we're going to hire some people that help us sell pictures, show pictures, print pictures, fulfill orders, handle customers. These people that are in your booth are going to be your front facing, your customer facing side of your business. Oftentimes, you as the photographer, like me, you're out in the arena, you're shooting pictures, you're hard to find, you're hard to get a hold of. People know you on social media and they know that you're the photographer, but when they come to your booth, they're going to talk to your booth crew, right? So you want to have somebody in this manager role that's editing your pictures the way you want them done. They follow your instructions, they do it your style, okay? And then you have people that are showing your customers their pictures. You want somebody that's friendly here. You want somebody that is engaged with their customers, that's having a good time, that chats with them a little bit, but not too much. Somebody that knows the sport but doesn't know it so well that they want to teach it, right? I tell my booth people, I say, listen, this is Oli's images. This is not Oli's horse training or team roping etiquette or team roping training, whatever it is, right? This isn't how to run barrels better. This is, let's show you your photos, right? So we want to get them in and out relatively quickly and not chit chat with them and not tell them like, oh, that sucks and here's why. Just tell them, oh yeah, here's your photo. If it looks bad, don't say it looks bad, but you don't have to lie to them either. So you want the right person. I've gone through a ton of people, and especially in this department, in the booth, like the showing of the pictures, right? We call this the showing station. This is where you're going to have a ton of turnover, and you're always going to have a ton of turnover, and that's totally cool. And this over here, like your booth manager, you want somebody that's more reliable, that shows up every time. This is going to be somebody that gets paid a little bit better too. They're kind of like the manager. That's why I call them booth manager. They edit, they know the software a little bit better. This person, anybody could do this. So if you call somebody, say you call the rodeo coach, right? And you say, hey, I need some help this weekend. You got any students in there that need a quick buck this weekend and aren't out rodeoing somewhere else? And they could be in here, they could show your customers pictures and just go. And that could be really easy. This is simple to train. Somebody isn't going to get paid a ton of money to be here, but they do need to be somebody that is upbeat, positive, energetic. You want somebody there that is going to be friendly, because that is who your customers are going to interact with the most, more than your booth manager and more than you. Your customer is going to sit right there. And here's the deal. Here's why we have them sit next to them, right? Because when you are literally on the same side of the table, it's more like a handshake deal. It's more friendly. It's more like, hey, let me show you, let me help you, right? And I tell people, you're not selling pictures here. You're showing pictures. And if they want to buy them, great. If they don't want to buy them, don't worry about it. Don't sweat it. Just move, keep them moving, but keep them happy. People might not remember what you said, but they'll remember how you made them feel. So if they sit next to you, they feel like it's not a sales thing. It's not confrontational. When you set people, if you put your salesperson on the other side and you put their laptop here and they're hunched into their little laptop and they're not hardly talking to the customer's not going to have a good time. The customer isn't going to enjoy this process, right? If you put your salesperson here on the same team, same side, literally and physically, metaphorically, it says that, hey, we're on the same side of this. I'm just showing you your pictures. I'm just helping you see your runs, right? And so by doing that, you're going to sell more pictures than if it's confrontational. You don't want to have people on the opposite side of the table, especially if they're buried, especially if they can hunker down and have their heads buried. Somebody sitting here, yeah, when they're showing pictures, their back is going to be to the line of customers that ends up being here. And that's okay, because you are like just here with this one person right now. But when there's not somebody sitting there, this person needs to turn and invite people in, right? They need to be friendly. They need to be outgoing. They need to say hi to people as they walk by. and get them to stop and sit down and look at their pictures, right? So just by engaging with traffic as it goes by, you'll get people to come in. They'll see that you're friendly. They'll see that you're not a sleazy salesperson. You're not trying to come up with some weird salesman tactics to get them to buy another picture. You're just saying, hey, let me show you your pictures. Did you rope today? Did you run barrels today? Hey, have you gone yet? You know, whatever. And just say, you know, if they say, yeah, I have, say, oh, let's get you in here. Let's see what you got. I bet you got something good. No pressure, no commitment. You know, you're not trying to get them to buy something before they've seen it. You know, you just get them to look at it, and it's huge on this 50-inch TV screen. That tells them, that tells the customer that you as the photographer have faith in your images. Like, you believe that if they see them on a 50-inch, that they'll be more than happy as a little 8x10, right? People will ask you, like, can you blow this up to an 8x10? And I'll say, no, I can shrink it down because these are way higher megapixel than what an 8x10 is, you know? But basically, if it looks good there, it's going to look good on an 8x10. It's going to look better smaller, right? So that's why we show it here. If it's out of focus, they know it right away. If there's any issues in sharpness, in quality, in light, in whatever, it looks good there. It'll look good on paper, right? The other trick, here's a trick that I do with the TV, is because we show people straight out of the camera. We don't do any editing, nothing. So let's get that out of the way right away. It goes, the system, we're going to talk about how the system works in a minute in another video, but it's going to go through and get loaded. Your pictures straight out of camera are what the customer sees. And that scares a lot of you. And a lot of you guys say, oh, my ego says I can't do that. My ego says that I have to edit every picture. And my ego says blah, 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 right? Throw your ego aside. Ignore that. Just let it be. Let it roll. I show pictures straight out of camera on a 50-inch TV screen and have done that for 8 years. You can do that too, okay? So what I want you to do is show those really big on the screen and just have faith that they're good. Just believe in yourself, believe in your pictures, and everything's gonna work out right.
Okay, so I got distracted. As you can tell, that beep, beep, beep was Brenna coming in the door. Got totally distracted. I lost track where I was at. I thought I'd covered this point because I brought it up in the video and thought, okay, well, I covered that, and I went on to other things that you'll see in this video. But here's my little trick that I do that you can do so that your pictures look like they've been edited even though they aren't yet. So you can take your remote for your TV and you can adjust the color, the contrast, the white point, the dark point. It's almost like all of the sliders that are in Lightroom and other editing programs are in your TV's menu too, for most TVs. Not every TV has this, but a lot of them do. And that's kind of like my little thing that I did a long time ago when my ego was still telling me, no, you have to edit these pictures. You don't have to edit those pictures. It doesn't matter. But if you feel like you must, but you want to compromise, you want to get there, there's like this in-between little step between showing straight out of camera like I like to do and waiting to edit your pictures, right? So there's this in-betweener that's, you just edit your TV's picture to be good, to be kind of like your style. So they look like they've almost been edited. The customers can't tell. So even if you're shooting in RAW where it's real flat, you can get some of that color back. Go and watch my videos where I don't shoot RAW, I shoot JPEG. A lot of photographers go, oh, gasp, I know, right? He shoots JPEG, but when you're lit and everything's perfect and you're doing 10,000 pictures a day, JPEG's the way to go. All right, so there's a lot. You can go to my video, JPEG versus RAW. Go watch that video if you want to know when I shoot JPEG, when I shoot RAW, and why. That's in there. That's another video for another time. But this is the little thing I was trying to tell you, and let's move on with the video.
Your employee is going to be here and showing pictures. And if there's a bad one, if there's one that's out of focus or whatever, everybody knows right away. So they can just skip it and move on, and people will forget about that so fast it's not even funny, okay? What we've got here is a size comparison chart. So this is printed to scale. So this is on a 13x19 sheet of paper. This is 5x7, 8x10, 11x14, etc. Okay? This is the 13x19 printer. I printed this off on that printer. I made it in Photoshop to scale. If you want one of these, send me an email. I'll just send it to you and you can just print your own. Okay? You can change your colors, whatever. I'll send you the PSD. But people can look on there even if they don't speak the same language. We have a ton of Spanish-speaking customers, and I don't speak Spanish. I wish I did, right? Sometimes my booth crew does. Sometimes you get lucky and you get somebody that's bilingual that works for you. Awesome. If not, no worries. They can point and say, I want that one, right? They can just say one of those, that one, this one. Doesn't matter. They can speak any language. They can point. They can say, I want that size. Easy, okay? So that's how that booth system works. That's one of the things. I just want you to kind of ease into that. We're going to continue this series in the next couple of videos. So be sure to follow along, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Post your comments with videos that you want me to make in the future.